from the city that never sleeps, except it does now, and a place where the sidewalks talk, because they do. It's I'ma Let You Finish, show number 175. We're 175 years old.
Which is sort of what the halftime score was at the NBA All-Star game.
Kind of, sort of. On the Pantheon Podcast Network. And unlike the All-Star game, you want us around, but that thing, they need to stick a fork in that shit. It's a wrap.
Oh my God. All right, let's be honest. First off, the NBA All-Star, let's be honest. All-Star games are usually not that interesting.
No. But at least the old
really
ones.
not.
But at least the old ones, when you could be a little more, the league was just like violent, more like you could do
there was some aggressive. Now they're just, the highlight of the NBA All-Star game was, let's be honest, who was going to sing the national anthem? Marvin Gaye, the greatest version ever. And the slam dunk contest, and even that is like, I thought it could. Was it the Spud Wet one? That's the most extraordinary one. Where the guy
and also Vince Carter's legendary.
Right.
Listen.
Yeah, I know. We're only talking about it because we feel contractually. It's hard.
I didn't think it could get worse than last year's dunk contest. I just didn't think that was humanly possible. And then this year happened.
Oh, no.
And it was like the skill, for everything from the skills contest to just everything. It was just horrible. And then the crazy part is, once again, people are really upset with Kenny Smith and his...
Oh, yeah, what the hell was that about? I thought Kenny Smith was the good one.
He says
I thought it was Steven Smith was the dumb one, and Kenny Smith was the... I can't keep up with my Smiths.
And the thing is... Kenny's... last year, two people were upset with him with things that he said. It's like, sometimes it's just like, this is just dumb. Everything about it was dumb.
He said, I cannot pronounce the woman's name, and I feel really bad.
Sanina Anascu, I think it's
no, it wasn't Stephanie, I think. Stephanie Anascu. Anyway, the point is that she had a 3-point contest. She's the leading 3-point scorer in the WNBA. Shout out to Caitlin Clark, by the way. Holy moly.
Great for
Clark,
her.
right? It is Clark.
Clark. Fabulous.
Amazing. She's the leading scorer, and she was the leading 3-point person in WNBA. Stephen Curry obviously is the man for which we either blame or thank for making the fucking 3-point shot. Anyway, and they had a shootout contest, and she did very well.
She held up with him. She lost by 3 points.
Yeah, and we all know the physical. We are not going to argue with there are physical advantages that men have over women and vice versa. But Kenny Smith had to be like, why'd she shoot? Why didn't she shoot from the girls' line? I'm like, really? We're going to do that?
And what I think it showed was, if you have skill and you can aim and shoot and get the ball in the basket and you have that skill, you can do it from any place on the court. You know what I mean?
I know there was a girls' line.
It's a different distance.
Is it pink?
No.
Does it apologize every time it does something right and go, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Please don't hate me. I didn't mean to be good. I'm so sorry. I know
you women, y'all have a hard way to go with a lot of bullshit. I'm glad there's so many of y'all have started being like, I'm not fucking apologizing for shit, and you shouldn't.
No, I know. I have to be better at that. All right.
I know you. Listen,
let's go this. I
want you to be. I always say with Amy, I want her to be meaner with men, because sometimes I think they're rude to her. And you would not think, as this lady right here can stand up for herself, but she lets these men, and I'm like, I'm always yelling at her, don't let these motherfuckers talk to you like that. Like, do not.
Being worked out in therapy.
You know what I mean? I hate that shit. I'm like, they're not your fucking parent. Fuck them.
No, I know. I'll get into
and I think that's a generational thing too, from working at a certain time and being a woman in that kind of environment
where you had to put up with someone on the street, and I'll have a fight with someone online.
You sure will.
I will confront it no, you're wrong. But no, I know. I'll work it out.
Yeah.
All right. The score.
Next time what you need to do is when they start yelling, be like, hold on. Call and put me on fucking speaker. I'll handle it, because fuck that bullshit.
No,
I hate that.
Every straight woman needs a mean black
a mean gay. They need a mean black gay, honey. To be like, I got this.
Really?
You get a hall pass to make a call.
Where's Carew when I need him? Carew, help me out.
Motherfucking Carew. Hey, Carew.
Hey, Carew, help me out the next time they're yelling at me. All right, let's just give the score of the All-Star Game so our heads can explode, because I seriously thought that I was reading a that it was all the our side games put together in one game. What was it, 5,000 to 12,000 or something?
It was something like 211 to like.
No, it was ridiculous.
Like one something.
And then they showed a clip literally of these guys.
They're literally like walking from one side of the court to the other. No, but it was ridiculous.
It was embarrassing. So when Adam Silver gave the trophy, it was like, oh, okay, Eastern Conference. I guess you scored a lot of points here. Here, what? We have to give you some. Here, have it. How many minutes did Jalen play? Not many, right?
No, and no one seemed to want to pass him the ball. It was very shady.
You know why? Because he's the guy right now, and these players have egos. Not that they always haven't, but he's the guy right now, and he's a nice guy. He has a cereal. I told you that. He has a cereal. I've never heard of this cereal, but he does ads for it. And I don't think these little brats want to give him any opportunity because he was the fan favorite. He came in, everybody was like, Jalen. He's the one everybody wants to see right now.
Yeah.
So they were being like, we're not going to give you the ball because you might actually entertain the crowd, be pleasant, be whatever you're supposed to be.
And I love his interviews. He really comes up as a really nice guy. And he was talking about how New York City's accepted him. He was like, it's always been a dream. This is the Mecca basketball. And it has sucked that the Knicks have been bad for so long because the Garden is the Mecca. And I think that the NBA is more exciting when the Knicks are doing great, and they're doing well. And he talked about how just when people see him on the street, he said, they don't even bother me. They'll say stuff like, we love you.
Yeah, because we don't get all caught up in famous
And he was
people
like, I love it. He was like, they've embraced me, the way they react to me. I just love it here. And I love it when somebody wants to be a Knick and wants to be here, And he seems to really appreciate
Clive Owen in the Adidas. Speaking of famous people.
I
stalked Clive. Oh, no, I did. I stalked Clive. In fact, I think I was with George.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, George. Or I was meeting George later. I stalked Clive Owen, and then who's that other really hot older? Gabriel Byrne. Stalked them, but subtly. I pretended I was extremely interested in this one Adidas tracksuit and lingered, looking over at Clive as if once again in my brain, Clive Owen. A la the way I thought Brian Ferry would somehow give up his wife or girlfriend and turn around and go, where have you been all my life, woman who's clearly hanging on to an Adidas? Yeah.
I stalked Madonna once. It was really weird. Like,
big surprise.
But this is really crazy. So this was younger me. When I worked at Tower in the Village.
Yeah.
And this was the first time I'd ever seen her off the stage, right? I'd seen the Who's That Girl tour. And she came in with some people to buy videos and I couldn't believe it. And then when they left, I ran and got my coat because she had a car, but they were walking. So I stayed like a block behind. It just kept walking until they got in the car just to watch her walking. She used to live on my
street. It's not that big of a deal.
I know. Then I started seeing her everywhere in New York.
No,
then like when I would go to clubs, and I'd seen her in clubs, but it was different. Like she was right there. You know what I mean?
She's a midget.
Then I started seeing her all over Sound Factory. She's tiny.
No, she's a midget.
I think
midget,
the big.
No, she's tiny.
Yeah, she's really tiny. Yeah.
They're all tiny. All right.
But she's tiny. They are all small, but she's really small. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, do we want to start with so Beyonce actually did an interview. First off, the world as we know it no longer exists. Unicorns are flying. Leprechauns are singing.
I know when I saw that there was a
subway is running. I was like, she's doing an interview?
When I saw that there was a byline, because the last couple of things have always been like an essay from. I was like, right. You spoke to somebody?
Somebody wrote that? Yeah, you actually. Somebody who's an actual human being.
That's literally what I thought.
I was like,
person. I was like, you spoke to somebody? Oh, wow, okay.
Right. You didn't just talk into your iPhone in notes and then publish it? So she's. This is a conversation I can't have because all right. So she has a hair care line out.
It drops today. Launches today.
I'm lining up. Well, there's no hair care. There's no hair supply stores left in the Fulton Mall. Thanks, white people.
Well, they're
Where am
all
I
up
supposed
here. There's 5, but now I
Right.
think, but I
Where
don't
am
know
I
if it's in
supposed to
beauty
get my
supply
dollar
stores.
hoops?
Yeah.
No, where am I supposed to get my
Right.
dollar hoops?
God, you guys don't have any more of them over there?
No, there's like 3 of them, but they're
Right.
getting hip to their prices now.
Right.
Now it's 3 pair for $7 as opposed to 3 pair for $3. Anyway, I digress. So she's got this hair care line out.
Sacred.
Okay. Is that how it's pronounced?
Don't make me choke on my hot chocolate.
No,
Amy.
I'm being serious. Okay, when
Wait,
people
there's a look on your
deliberately
face when you said, you're like, is that how it's pronounced?
Okay,
It's sacred. Yes.
Okay, when people deliberately misspell words, you can't expect me to know how it's pronounced. I'm being dead ass serious. She's French, right? Maybe a cycle. I don't know. I didn't know what it was pronounced. Okay. All right. So first off, yes, she has lovely hair. She has great hair. That's great. Can I say this without, and I'm not saying this to be mean. She seems like a really nice person. Beyonce is sort of the musical equivalent of Trump in that every product she has tried to push fails.
That's very real. That's a real thing, right?
I mean, she's not obviously she's not a demonic, horrible person. She's a very nice person. But
it's a very interesting thing if you really go through the list of all of the things, like, you know, from the perfumes. And I want to say the perfumes were
Perfume did well.
I think it did well. But, you know, to me, you look at somebody like a Britney Spears who did exceptionally well with her perfume. She had like 26 different perfumes. You know what I mean? And I know somebody who worked at the company, and it was like, we look forward to, they sell like hotcakes.
And I know you hate her, but Jennifer Lopez, her brands have done, what's her face? Like I said, Jessica Simpson, those shoes are like a big deal.
Jessica Simpson really, in her accessories line, made stuff that women, one, she designed them well, that women really like. Because I know a lot of women who wear, I've been on photo shoots where they'll have Louboutin, done all these different, and Jessica Simpson shoes, because the designs are well, and I've heard they're very comfortable. So she was really smart, because she absolutely focused on stuff that I think everyday women can wear, you know what I mean? And put into their wardrobe, and stuff that's not going to break the bank and make them feel glamorous. So she was really smart in her design choice.
All right. So let's get back to Beyonce. So she's doing this line, Sacred. Thank you. I've learned something new today. How do I say this I'm so glad that Michael Arsenault, hello Michael, gave us me a shout out for being white people who are respectful of black spaces. So I don't know. How do I put this? What does her hair look like? Her actual hair.
Well, I've seen her hair a lot.
Okay.
Her hair is great. It's really, you know, she takes care of it. It's very healthy.
No, but we don't, how can we, it's like it's like that thing where you sell mascara, but you're wearing false eyelashes. So how do I know?
Well, can I, as the
get me out of this hole, please.
As the black person here, let me just say this.
With no hair, by the way.
But I've had a couple of my female friends, unsolicited, have a conversation with me about this. And I sat and I listened, and I thought, listening to a lot of the perspectives and then seeing what people are saying online, it was really interesting. I have one friend who said to me, listen, I love Beyonce. I love her music.
Right.
But there's things about her that I just feel like are not relatable to me. She was like,
and you've brought that up before.
And she was like, now, she said, I've never thought of Beyonce as a hair person. She said, I thought of Beyonce as hair in a certain sense of, there's always like a long wig or something that's great, but she's on stage and it's blowing in the wind. That's what I think about her.
I like the pixie cut when she had the cute little pixie cut.
She was like, I don't think of her. She's not one of those women that I've gone through, or like artists that I've gone through a different hair journey with. She was like, her hair is always kind of the same. It's blonde. It's either curly and long, or blonde and straight. And usually I think of it as pieces, a weave, or a wig. She was like, I don't really know what Beyonce's hair looks like. So for her to come, she was like, and suddenly to say, here's this hair product, and I want to teach you everything that I've learned about a hair journey. She was like, I feel like I don't relate to you in that. Like, why what does that mean when I don't really know what your hair looks like? And I thought that was a really interesting perspective. She said, now, Tabitha Brown, do you know who Tabitha Brown is?
I know
Who's
that name. She's like a lifestyle person.
yes, and she started out, doing a lot of. She's a vegan chef, and she started out doing a lot of vegan meals. But she's also named her hair Donna, and she's got this big, beautiful head full of natural hair. And her hair has been part of her story. And then she launched these products called Donna's Recipe, right? Which a friend of mine, she bought, and she's like, it was on sale in Ulta. I bought it, and it really works, and it's great. She said, but you know what? I've gone through this hair journey with Tabitha. I know what her hair looks like. I've seen her. She's talked about it. She said, that seems like a natural place to me. Now, I think Beyonce's celebrity is always big enough where there's going to be a lot of attention for any sort of product that she brings. I do think that, because her mom, we know very famously had a hair salon and all those things. Yes, there is a hair background. I just think it is very interesting to come with now this hair product. And the reaction that I'm seeing from a lot of Black women is, we don't really know what your hair looks like. So, what is this hair? What is this hair journey that you're going to take us on?
I've been on a hair journey.
Yeah, your hair looks great. Mm-hmm.
It does, right?
Yeah, your hair looks great. It does. Mm-hmm.
You know why?
No, your hair stays thick. Like, even the gray looks really good. You know what I mean? It's like you've got really good hair. Yeah, so I think it's interesting. And you told me that you have seen on your socials some of your friends and Black women having this conversation.
Not industry people, just like school
regular
teachers. Yeah, just kind of going, we love her music, but like we cannot relate to her. And you know what? And again, we've discussed this, and this has always been my problem with her. The talent, undeniable.
Undeniable.
Is she a genius? No, but that word is thrown around so much anyway. But undeniable talent, artistically challenging, great performer, yada, yada, yada. But I compare her like with when Mary J. sings, and I know there are different types of singers. I know it's different types of. I know Mary J. is more of a pure R&B artist, and that's not good or bad. It's just and obviously can't dance, but it's lots of fun.
But we love the Mary dance.
Yeah. But we love the Mary dance. Mm-hmm. It's sort of like the Black person Elaine dance from Seinfeld.
Kind of. Everybody tries to mock, but only Mary can do the Mary dance.
Only Mary can do it.
Only she can do it right.
I believe every word that comes out of Mary's mouth. Every syllable that comes out of Mary.
And she doesn't have to be singing the truth, but it's the way she sings it. It is something that it hits a note that everybody, because you know what it is?
Not her core audience, quote unquote.
But she reminds you of somebody you know. You know that woman. You know her. You have a friend that's like her. You know that woman. And I think Beyonce is not relatable to people. It is very...
She speaks to, Mary speaks to, and again, we're kind of, and then we were going to talk about the reaction to the new Beyonce song, but Mary has I've been there, I've been through this. And I think a lot of it is because when we were first introduced to Mary, she was she was a diamond in the rough, right?
Absolutely.
And we saw
she was raw.
Her.
We watched it polish.
No, she was raw.
We absolutely watched her polish.
They sent her to grooming school. I mean, they sent her to like behave yourself school.
But it took a long time too. We watched her from album to album to album grow and grow and grow and grow. Right. It was not and we know that woman. We know her. No, you know what I mean?
We've been that. Well, I mean, we've all been that. Beyonce came to us a finished product, which is not a bad thing, but it's harder. It's so that's the thing.
Well, she was almost like I would say Matthew really was very smart, and he took like a Berry Gordy Motown approach with the training. Like, you're going to have artist development. When they stepped on the stage, they were ready. You're not going to be political. You're not going to have opinions about a lot of things. You come, you sing, you smile, you wave to the fans, you sign an autograph, and
more palatable, pop-friendly image.
Absolutely. And you leave mystery, right? Don't let them know everything, which I appreciate. But at the same time, like you said, now you're so secluded.
Yeah.
And you've kind of put yourself in a place. Like this week, I saw she stopped and signed autographs for people leaving a party in New York. I've not seen her stop and talk to fans. And what
Yeah.
made her stop is there's a person who dressed as an alien and went to a bunch of her shows all over the United States. And so she, like, I believe worldwide, I think, and she would see the alien and be like, you went to a lot of shows. And that person lives in New York, and he had his mask. And when she was coming out, he screamed, Beyonce, I'm the alien. And she
Oh, okay.
stopped. And then she
Okay.
turned around, she came and she signed, I believe, as alien. But then she was signing people's records. And I love that because it's like, you know what? I understand being that famous where you need privacy. I've seen her world. I get that. But I
Right.
also think that then it makes it difficult outside of music when you're coming to people to say, hey, I have this great thing and I want to tell you, and no one's really been on that journey with you. Now you have people kind of questioning, well, because I thought people would be really happy. But the response that I'm seeing is I just didn't expect it. I really didn't
No,
expect it, but
no.
it makes sense with the things that people are saying to me. I was like, okay, I get that. I absolutely get, especially when it comes to like hair products and things, right? Because a lot of times you go through a journey with someone who's, especially if they're famous, and you've gone through a hair story with them, and then you see them and you've watched their hair grow, and you're always like, how do you get your hair like that? Here's the thing. I want to show you my secret. So when she comes, it's great. But it also, I mean, it does feel like there are a lot of people when they say, but we don't actually know what your hair looks like. I'm like,
Right.
I
How are
didn't
we
even
going to know
think,
that they're
I
not
didn't
proving
think
it?
about it that way because I've seen her hair a lot, right?
Yeah,
So
but
it's just kind
you
of
have an
like,
up close.
oh,
Well,
okay,
if she's, and as we'll talk about, if she is going to have to relax some of the guard between her and some of the, reserve if she wants to make a serious pitch into country, because country music fans don't play. Country
right.
music fans want you to be, that talk about something. It's, they want to know that you've had their experiences. Now she's coming in with a disadvantage because she's coming in as a superstar. She's coming in as like Taylor started there and
Right.
then became a huge superstar and is
Right.
white. So we'll just cut to
Yes.
that chase.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
but and worked within the Nashville hierarchy. Beyonce is now coming in after, let's be honest, Jay-Z's speech at the Grammys did not rub a lot of people the right way. I had no problem with it, but I saw a lot of mainly white people on Facebook use the words that you're supposed to not use when you're a white person, when you're talking about a black person, like articulate and gracious and, like, shut up, like he doesn't have to be humble, articulate, or gracious. He can do whatever the hell he wants. So she wants to be a country music, put a foothold in country music and do a country record. And I think this is going to be interesting because it's really nice to hear her sing as opposed to rap sing, because she's got a beautiful voice. She's going to have to bring it down a little bit. And in a lot of ways, this hair care thing and doing an interview is setting the steps for the press she's going to have to do if she's doing country. She's going to have to do it because there's 9 million country music people in the world, and they're going to look at her and go, "You're an interloper," even though she has every
I
black
wonder
person.
if this was when she makes her return to maybe doing a radio interview and talking.
She's
Because
going to have
there
to.
are some country stations that have started playing it. I'm like,
Yes.
is this when you go and talk to that audience? Because here's the thing, and we talked about this last week. Listen, if you know her, she's a Texas girl. She is a country girl. She is, you know what I mean? No matter how much money and the nice houses, she is a Texas girl and she is a
Right.
country girl. So to me, it would be very interesting, like you said, if it becomes, all right, I'll talk to some country
I think she's
stations
gonna
and
have to. I think
yeah,
she's gonna have to. I mean, and whether she has the bigger and that's a huge conversation. I'd like to get somebody on. I'm gonna look and see if we can get somebody on. I mean, Charles Hughes. Shout out to Charles Hughes, is somebody, a former guest who's really investigated this. We all know that 99.9% of American music is black based, and if you don't know that, today is also Tuesday. Okay,
right. Mm-hmm.
but today's country music audience is probably in some ways is open to stuff, but as long as it's that hip hop fake country stuff, but it's going to be very interesting. She's coming into it established. They like her as a pop star. They got no problem with it. You're not going to tell me that these people in Alabama and Nashville aren't buying that girl's records. They are totally buying her records.
Yeah, she has a huge white Latino Asian fan base. Yeah,
but she's going to have to, especially if she's trying to really show this link, which she is doing so far with the 2 songs. There has been the radio station that there has been some pushback by like John Schneider, who I had to Google to remember who the hell this asshat is.
I'm so tired of us always having to be compared to animals, and it's always some really just
like who cares what this man has to say? He's a country singer because he put out a record a million years
ago from the Dukes of Hazzard
from a show that had the Confederate flag.
The General Lee.
End of story. Yeah, okay, from a ridiculous show. He's an idiot. Why they even why he's allowed to say this stuff? Well, he's allowed to say whatever he wants because it's America, blah, blah, blah. But where are the white people pushing it back against him? Because what he said is just offensive. Whatever you think of her as an artist, she's a human being. And it's offensive. Should we take?
And let's talk of the honest truth about this. To me, brings up the bigger issue of the women who are already established in country fighting to get spots on country radio and those playlists. And you see kind of asshats like him. That's the kind of energy that they're facing being a woman. Right. And there's a lot of new young Black women like Raina Reynolds and who are really
Alton
making
Russell,
really
been around
great
for a while.
Country music and Americana and roots music. Who are not getting
smart.
that play. Yeah.
I mean, they're smart in that they being the marketing people are they're saying country, but it's really Americana is just sort of, it's a difference between I'm going to see a movie and I'm going to see a film. Americana implies Americana is a higher level.
Well, it's kind of more in the traditional country sense and not like the sort of the pop country that we've been getting a little bit, It's
more of the, do you want to pick this up on the other side or do you want to take a break now? Or
let's take a break and we'll be right back.
Hey, Pantheon listeners. Christian Swain here, taking a break from listening to a little Shout It Out Loudcast episode. Love Tom and Zeus talking all things Kiss. Of course, I was listening to them on my new Raycon wireless earbuds. They have quickly become my go-to earbuds because of the comfort. These soft tips are the best I've ever used. And at this price, plus a Pantheon discount, Raycon is really hitting on all marks. Sound quality is great too. I really love having these 3 EQ options because I like more bass in the music, but less in my podcast. 8 hours of playtime for the battery is great as well. Surround sound, noise isolating, and awareness mode are all included. These are great earbuds. Go to buyraycon.com/Pantheon today to get 20% off your Raycom order plus free shipping. That's right. You'll get 20% off and free shipping at buyraycon.com/Pantheon. buyraycon.com/Pantheon. Hey, Pantheon listeners, Christian Swain here. Another day, another podcast I'm working on. This time, it's Famous and Gravy with Amit and Michael. I want to let you know that I loved the Factor Meals package so much that I re-upped for myself, and then I sent a package to my in-laws. Like I was with my first shipment from Factor Meals, the in-laws were as excited to try one of the prepared restaurant quality meals. Well, they got the shipment to Protein Plus meal plan and were very impressed. See, being in their 80s, anything to make the meal prep easy is a plus for them. They heated the oven per instructions and minutes later were enjoying a very delicious, nutritious, and dietitian-approved meal. One big win for me. But what really floored them was the taste. Like I told you, it's surprising how good these meals taste. Restaurant quality indeed. And like my own shipment, it really was everything Factor Meals said it would be for some seniors. No prep, no mess meals. Factor meals are 100% ready to heat and eat. Take it from me and my in-laws. Head to factormeals.com/Pantheon50 and use the code Pantheon50 to get 50% off. That's factormeals.com/Pantheon50 and use the code Pantheon50 to get 50% off. Thank you, Factor Meals.
Hey folks, Stefan Shirazi and Renee Richardson here from the Metallica Report.
And we are proud members of the Pantheon Podcast family, where the best of music and podcasts unite.
We've got something pretty cool for you. We're giving away an exclusive Metallica merch package worth over $250.
That's a whole lot of Scary Guys, Skulls, M72, and other sought-after Metallica swag. And we've made it easy for you to win. Follow and share the Metallica Report, and you're in the game. Go to pantheonpodcast.com/Metallica, enter your email, and hit that button to be entered to win.
And just like that, you're eligible for our monthly exclusive Metallica merch package.
And guess what, rockers? You can enter every month, so just do it. And while we love our global brothers and sisters, the lawyers won't let us ship outside the U.S.
And we're back.
All right, so in that vein, Paramore, who won their first Grammy, I believe, this year, a really well-respected group. She's a great singer. They are from Tennessee. Allison Russell also won a Grammy. She is not from Tennessee. She's actually from Canada, but she has lived and worked, obviously, in Tennessee for a very long time. So they were the state senate of Tennessee, which is, you remember, this is the same organization that banished 2 black men and a white woman for speaking out, but then only let the white woman in, and the 2 young black men were only let back in because they were reelected immediately. Anyway, the state Ku Klux Klan down there decided, we'll give Paramore the honorary award, but
like
we're not giving
a proclamation.
Yeah,
but turn
like,
down Allison.
Susan Russell. And Paramore basically said, F you, we're not going to take it either. So good for them. And it's
good
ridiculous.
For them. It's
and
like
in 2024, we still have to have this conversation?
Yes, because race, and everybody gets very upset when people say things like, well, America's a racist country. I don't believe we're a racist country, but we keep ignoring all of these really racist acts that keep happening because there's no other way to explain it. There is no other way to explain it. And black people, we're tired of explaining it. We're like, we know what it is. And we actually know that you know what it is. So let's not act like we're all dumb.
Like I said, what it is people like, Jay-Z wasn't grateful enough. You don't have to be grateful.
Like, why does anybody have to be grateful? Like, I hate that whole thing.
You should be.
But when people, the way people say that, it's a thing that they always say about women and black people. It's like, you should be humble. You should feel honored you should be
honored that we're letting you in the room.
And it's bullshit. It's like, fuck that and fuck you. Merry
it's like
Christmas.
men it's like, why isn't she smiling? You need to smile more. No, I don't.
Ooh.
No, I don't need to smile at all. I mean, I smile when something makes me smile. I mean, don't tell me to smile.
It's like smiling on fucking command for some random man who tells you, why aren't you smiling?
Really? And
you should be like, because I saw your fucking face and it made me throw up a little bit in my mouth.
I'm on my way to the doctor to find out I have a week to live. I'm so sorry. I'm not smiling.
Right. It's not a happy moment. Merry Christmas.
On my way to jail to bail out my best friend. I will try to sing as I go down Lafayette Avenue. La-di-da-di-la-di-da. Yay. Thank you, nice man.
Pizzas for everybody.
Pizza for everybody. All right. Speaking of assholes, I'm really kind of like, all right. So Roger Waters, I am the one white boomer who really didn't care about Pink Floyd. I'm not saying that they weren't a great group. They're obviously a great group. But right. I just didn't care about Pink Floyd. It wasn't my vibe. I mean, I like rock. They just weren't. I didn't.
You a punk girl. That
No.
wasn't
I'm talking about earlier. I'm talking about
Right.
Pink Floyd was the 70s. I mean,
Right.
the early 70s.
Right.
I am not going to pretend like I didn't hear Dark Side of the Moon on regular rotation when I was in junior high and high school. I'd be an idiot if I said it. I didn't follow him. I know David Gilmour is an amazing guitar player and one of the people who was sort of behind Kate Bush, too, who helped bring Kate Bush to a forefront. All right, so Roger Waters has basically been an asshole since Jump. He's an asshole. I mean, his own band has sued him. He goes out. He has done increasingly, and I'm not one of these people who goes, "Oh, it's anti-Semitic if you say anything against Israel," because I have issues with Israel as well. But when you come on stage with a fucking swastika, I think it's fair to say that maybe you're anti-Semitic. So he's just increasingly problematic. Okay.
I was like, has he come on stage with a swastika?
Yeah, he wore something somewhere where it looked like a swastika.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like...
And you can't say, oh, but it's a peace sign. No, it's not.
I love, don't you love when people pull that bullshit?
In Germany, anything.
It's like against the law, isn't it?
It's against the law.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
a big deal over there. Yeah.
It's a big deal over there for kind of obvious reasons. Okay. Bono is many things. He is insufferable. Completely. I mean, bless his heart.
I like him, but it's like, okay.
He's insufferable. He's self-righteous. He loves the sound of his own voice. He thinks he invented everything, but he is not. He's insufferable. Okay. Insufferable is easier to deal with. So I guess not the day after the October 7 massacre, but it's some very close to the massacre, the Hamas going into Israel and killing 1,500 people. And as the retaliation was starting up, they changed the lyric. They talked about the fact that they sing about love, and Pride in the Name of Love is a beautiful song written in honor of the assassination of Martin Luther King. And they were a band that came up singing about the war in Ireland. So people
forget that they were a protest band when they started. Those early records, they were a protest.
Christian
they were and people, because you think about all of the later hits, but if you go to all those early albums, they were in your face with a lot of stuff they were talking.
Yeah. So and they've been on the right side of the issues.
No, I'm about to say they come by it honestly. I'm not going to act like they're Johnny Come Latelys with shit.
No. They've been on the right side of a lot of issues. Anyway, I mean the left side of a lot of issues. The correct side on the left. Anyway, so they changed the lyrics to Pride in the Name of Love to acknowledge the murder of these innocent people in Israel and also acknowledge the murder of innocent people in Gaza. And I believe what they did is they inserted the word Star of David or something in the lyrics of Pride in the Name of Love. Okay. Roger Waters has a conniption fit of epic proportions because at this point, Roger Waters only exists because of outrage, because nobody buys his music. He's been dropped by his managing company. I am sure his tours, I'm sure he's really big in countries where Nazi war criminals are hiding out or, MAGA rallies. I'm sure he could perform there. So he's like, Bono's an asshole. He's a piece of shit. Somebody should shake him upside down. I'm trying to figure out that image. What happens when you shake somebody up and down? Their poop falls out?
I have no idea.
What is that about? I don't get it. So he's ranting and raving. And all you need to know about Roger Waters, if you have any doubts about Roger Waters as a human being, one of his biggest allies is, I don't even want to call him, I don't know what he is, a philosopher, is David Icke. You know who David Icke is?
I have no idea who that is.
Okay, David Icke is this British guy who is one of the people who, he believes in the New World Order, and that Zionists rule the world, and they, Soros, and he believes in the lizard people. He's one of the lizard people.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
He's a lizard people person. And I think he was like somebody of some legitimacy, and he's basically banned everywhere he opens his mouth. But so that's who's behind Roger Waters. So yeah, again, Bono is insufferable. Bono's like, whatever, and go play the Sphere and yay for you. But I mean, if I had to choose who to side with, and
listen, we could say Bono's annoying, but again, he's annoying, but he falls on the right side of shit. Really.
Yes.
He's done a lot of work, forming the One Foundation and AIDS work. Listen, I have no problem with people being insufferable and annoying because a lot of people are insufferable and annoying. And it's really easy to ignore people that you want to ignore. Just scroll past, like go to read something else. It's quite easy. I don't understand how people get so annoyed by shit that they don't like. It's like, you know what I do with shit that I don't like? I just don't look at it. It can exist. But the fact that people like him, he just gets so upset for someone's mere existence. It's like, you don't have to pay attention to Bono. Well,
it's because he's increasingly cornered. And again, I don't, neither one of us want to get into a conversation about what's going on in Gaza because it's beyond our pay grade. But I think you are capable of feeling sympathy and empathy and horror at massacre across the board. Across the board.
You know what I'm saying?
But Roger Waters,
it's not that controversial.
It's not that controversial. I mean, it's
people
really
are not their governments. You know what I mean? It's like you've got people who are in an area where everywhere they're being told to go to evacuate to then starts becoming bombed. It's like, how do we not look at that and say?
And how do we not look at any violence anywhere? I mean, when we have a country that's becoming increasingly inured to violence, that literally people
there are Nazis marching down the streets in America. I just saw there was a Nazi march down Broadway in Nashville.
Yeah, well, and when we have a country and a government, or not Joe Biden, but the other people running who are like, oh yeah, Alexei Navalny, he brought that on himself, because he starved himself, because he killed himself, and so we are so far away from what we were raised into the consideration. All right, oh my God, wait, Spoonie's back.
Oh, the Spoons. Where's the? Hey, hey, Spoonie. Hey, Spoons.
She's very upset about the word. Get off of me, Kat. I've forgiven her for scratching my face last week. Not scratching, jumping on my face and staying there for a prolonged period. Strudel don't do press.
Yes, Strudel does not make any appearances. Strudel's like,
Strudel is only around when there are snacks to be had, food to be eaten, and every night when I'm going to sleep, she'll come in,
and that's when she's
around,
like,
I'm here, and I'm gone.
Right.
Yeah, Strudel on her deathbed will allow me to pick her up. This one is a whore.
Right.
This is a little whore. Hey, Spoonie. Mm-hmm. All right. Kelly Rowland, who is the nice one. I've interviewed Kelly Rowland several times. This woman, if she were any nicer, I don't even know how she could be nice. She's like, first off, remembers my name. I'm always very happy when that happens. Mm-hmm. But lovely. I've interviewed her a couple of times. She's sweet. She's nice. She gives you a big hug. She's known. You tell it, because I can't even.
Let me just say this. I was Kelly's product manager for her Miss Kelly album. It is a good record. I have been to the Today Show with her more than once. Kelly Rowland knows the size of the dressing rooms at the Today Show. So I don't know. There's a story going out that Kelly was supposed to host that 19th hour of the 19th hour of the Today Show.
The 24-hour Today Show. Really, it's
hour of the Today Show.
You're becoming the Law and Order of it's like it's never not on.
And then when you turn it back, they're like, and we now have a new additional hour. It goes on to 4 p.m. And she was supposed to host, I guess, with the Hoda and Jenna hour. They're saying she left because of a dressing room and they had to scramble and find a replacement. Rita Ora stepped in for her. Now, as someone who worked with Kelly, that sounds ridiculous. Kelly, listen, I don't have any skin in the game. I haven't spoken to anybody, but I can tell you this. If Kelly Rowland walked out of an obligation, it was not just because, a dressing room. Something changed. Something wasn't correct that was agreed upon. She is not the type of person who walks away from a work obligation. That's just not her.
She's been doing this since she's 15.
She's very professional. She is an extremely, extremely professional woman. She does not shit on obligations. If she says yes to something, she does it. So for her to leave, I'm going to be like, you can leak out a story saying, it was over a dressing room. And I'm glad she didn't answer because clearly it was something not correct. And I'm going to say on their part, because that's not like her. She's been to the Today Show. She knows what they're doing. This is not like I've never been here. I don't know. The Today Show's been in the same place for 9,000 years. Right. Anybody who works in entertainment knows that there's like this giant sort of green room central area downstairs. And then all of the little rooms are off of that one giant room. And they're tiny. They're really small for everybody. Then there's this one green room that's upstairs that's bigger. There's a singular room that supposedly Jennifer Lopez was booked on the show that day to discuss her whatever that is on Amazon Prime.
Which is getting great reviews, by the way. It's getting hilarious reviews. I mean, it's kind of like this is like some drug-induced nightmare. I just want to add, by the way, before I go into the part that you're going to turn my sound off, Spoonie has now positioned herself on the microphone cord so I cannot move. Because if I move, I will unplug the microphone and the headphones. So she has strategically, in cat-like fashion, made it so I can't move.
That is because she is like, I'm hungry, so I'm going to need you to finish up. No. Because I want some snacks.
No. They get snacks in the afternoon. Excuse me. Oh, she just left because she heard I was talking about her. No, they get snacks in the afternoon. I am a good mother. They get their food in the morning and snacks in the afternoon. All right. So I happen to have The View on. And can I just say one thing before I go into it? I mean, bless her, I am just so tired of when a conversation goes on about pop culture and Whoopi sits there with this eye rolling, I'm too good to be part of this. It's like, bitch, it's a pop culture song.
She does really get very sort of.
It's like, come on, man. It's like, it's yeah, we discuss politics, but it's also a pop culture show. And you can't sit there and be like, oh, I'm above this. It's like, no, you're not, because you're on the show making a gazillion dollars to sit there and put up with it. Okay. So they had Rita Ora on, and we've made tons of jokes about Rita Ora. I have been part of them. When I was in Kosovo, I was sending Courtney back pictures of her billboards going, look, this is what she does. Or when she was at, not Century 21. What's the new Century 21? Poshmark. Poshmark. She had a line at Poshmark. Look, it's Rita Ora. So we always make jokes about it and blah, blah, blah. All right. So she is now on The Masked Singer. She's also married to like the hottest guy in Hot Town. Sorry. And he's a great director. But she was on The Masked Singer. And that's her thing now. She's going to be doing that. And so she was there. Okay. She was really smart, really funny, really sweet. I'm like, and now she's actually doing something in this country. And I got to give her credit, because they were like, wait a minute, you're only in your mid-30s. So they started her, and it's kind of not her fault, because, Def Jam pushed her as sort of like the new Rihanna in a way. Right. And she was very racially ambiguous. Like, we had no idea. Am I wrong in that none of us knew what her background was? We were like, what is she?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. They kind of, she's from Kosovo. She's Albanian. And she talks, she has an interesting backstory. And I don't know. I mean, I just sat there and I was going to call you, and then I thought I wouldn't ruin your high, because I figured, you were already like, and you're giving up so much stuff for Lent. I didn't want you to give up your hatred of Rita Ora. But I went, I can't hate her or dismiss her the way I used to. And then she was the one who stepped in at the Today Show with like a minute to prepare to co-host. And that is not an easy thing to do. And so I'm just going to say that I don't commemorate Lent, because Jesus is not my Lord and Savior. He's not my anything. But I am giving up trashing Rita Ora for the next 3 weeks. Sorry.
So I would just like to say to everyone listening,
she has a job in the United States now. She's actually doing something.
Amy is going to be in France in a couple of weeks. I'm auditioning for new co-hosts, because
Amy's going to be in France scouring through.
She has jumped the motherfucking shark. Okay. Not only did she jump it, she jumped the shark onto a platypus and is riding the back of a manatee out to sea.
All right.
Because
I still hate Meghan McCain. I still hate Meghan McCain.
Okay, well, you know.
The thing is with Rita
The
Ora,
crazy part was, and
what
here's the
does she
thing,
do?
I don't hate Meghan McCain.
We now know what Rita Ora does, so we can no longer say, why is she here? She has a legitimate job in the United States.
She actually is talented, and I know that that's a joke that I like to run, but she's not untalented. Yeah. She's not untalented. It was just for a while. Remember, they were trying to make her famous here, and they were trying to shove her down our throats, and it was like, guys, she may be famous in Europe. We don't care the same way here. We just don't care. We don't.
But I just was like, oh my God, she's like, I mean, she was like really nice and she was deferential. And I was like, God, I feel bad for like the, all right, Rita, I give it up. I'm not going to make, so for how much more time do we have in Lent? I don't pay attention to shit. When is it? When does your guy come back? When is your guy coming back?
The 29th of March.
Oh, I got some time. And by the way, I'm going to be in France scouring record shops for you, Miss Thing. So you better start saving up your pennies from all these royalties we're getting. From that $13 I sent you the other day will get you half of an album. We'll get you the greatest hits off an album. All right. Anything else going on?
No, I don't care.
No, there's nothing.
No, not really.
There's nothing going on.
No.
All right.
It's like that. It's that weird time of year where it's just like, but March is going to be busy. Everyone's dropping an album in March. They're all coming.
Who's
Dua
coming?
Lipa's coming.
Oh, yeah.
Beyonce's coming. Shakira with her first album in 7 years is coming.
I love Shakira.
Everyone is coming in March. Isn't Taylor March? Is her album April? I think she and Ariana might be April, but this we're coming into a period.
Is she coming with a Spanish language album or an English language album?
Well, the title is in Spanish, but I think it's both. I think it's a mixture of Spanish and English. First album in 7 years. I think it's called Women No Longer Cry.
Unless the taxes.
So this is but she settled that because she just realized
she did. Okay.
She settled it. She did. She did settle it. She settled it.
I love her.
Left the man, moved to America. She lives in Miami now.
Yeah. I love her. I really do. I've never met her.
This is the after breakup, divorce. You know,
it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be so fucking good. I don't know if it's gonna be better. I think she said it's more like aspirational to pick yourself up, be strong, strength. I think this is her Strength of a Woman album because she already got the bitter part out with her Bizarre rap where she just let him have it.
Well, and Strength of a Woman when you have more money than God. No, she's great. I love her. When she first came out, they were like, she was promoted as like the Spanish speaking Alanis Morissette.
Yeah, I have those first hair. And her legendary MTV Unplugged, it was all in Spanish.
Wonderful.
Listen, those records are really rocking. So when she kind of went pop, it was really different because I expected her to be more of a rock girl because those early records were really sort of in that vein, you know?
And you know who one of her best friends was? Gabriel Garcia Marquez.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah. Are you pretending to know who he is?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay. I could tell. It's okay. I could tell. He is a Nobel Prize winning writer.
Right.
Who wrote 100 Years of Solitude. Is that it?
Okay, yeah, no. Sure, yeah.
No, he basically invented magic realism. It's okay. He's a great writer. Okay, but he was friends with Shakira.
Oh,
and they're all from the same town. She's from the same town. Yeah, he's from Shakira, him, and come on.
Karol G.
The woman she's Puerto Rican, Karol G.
Karol G is Colombian, Miss Thing.
No, the woman who was on
is it like Barranquilla? Is something that's the town?
No. She was from oh my God, she was on Modern Family for a million years.
Sofia Vergara.
Yes, they're all from the same town.
Yes. And so is Karol G, I believe. I think they're all.
Oh, okay. It must be a really nice town if they're all from there. All right. So, what are you listening to these days?
Well, I've been listening to the new Pet Shop Boys single a lot because I like that.
Yeah. We love them.
Yeah, I've also been listening to the Beyonce tunes, the two tunes. Alternate's new Party Girl remix, which has been making me shake my booty a little bit. The Little Sims last drop, drop
great.
7. The Usher album, which is really good. I like
Really
his
good.
album, great R&B
Really
album.
good.
And you
Really
know,
good.
my New Zealand girl, Jessica Mawboy, has a new album called Yours Forever, and I really like it a lot.
I decided, based on a friend and fellow writer and fellow Pet Shop Boy and Roxy Music fanatic, Smith Galtney. Hi, Smith. I hope you're listening. He has been going back to the later years Pet Shop Boys, everything post-electric, and they did a couple records where they did expanded versions.
You mean like
Super, Super, Release, all them.
Oh, I love Release is great, yeah.
Release. I love Release, but the extra part. So Release.
Oh yeah, I have all of those. The ones with the further listening with the 2 and 3 CDs, full of the alternate takes, the
like
remixes.
A whole another record.
Yeah, it is. Mm-hmm.
No, it's all new song, and I just sit there. Once again, we say this all the time. Holy crap! This band is one of the most consistent in their inconsistency.
You need to go back and listen to the Elysium and go into the Elysium further listening and all of those.
I've been doing all of them. I've been listening to all of them.
Fundamental has some really good stuff on there. Yeah, it's really.
Behavior is the go-to record because it is probably, I would say,
you know what's really funny?
Record.
I don't go that early when I listen to them. Like I do sometimes on my vinyl a little bit, but when I'm playing them, I usually start. You know, I love. Okay.
Stop. I have other songs I want to talk about. I have other stuff I want to talk. Stop.
Love.
Anyway, the other stuff I've been listening to that, and for some reason, based on a conversation I had lunch the other day with our pal Jim Farber. Hi, Jim Farber, who really is the funniest man in Funtown. We were talking about that Joel Selvin's great book about Jim Gordon. We were talking about what a brilliant book that is. And then that dissolved into a conversation about Rita Coolidge. And that dissolved into a conversation about Mad Dogs and Englishmen. And that dissolved into a conversation about Joe Cocker. So I've been listening to the first 2 Joe Cocker records, which I listened to all the time when I was in junior high. And just like, holy crap. This man is more than Lift You Up Where We Belong, which is not a bad song.
He's much more than that.
So much more than that. So much more than that. Leon Russell. And I have also been listening to, because I always go back to them, The Faces and early Rod Stewart. Rod Stewart, I don't know. For me, he's just one of the greats. But again, it's like Robert Palmer. These people have these huge hits, which are great. And then you go back. So anyway,
it's funny. I was listening to that Power Station album this morning. That's what I had on before the show started. This morning.
See, that's great. But I go.
But no, I have his solo album too. But this morning I hadn't pulled it out. I was looking for a record play, and that's what I posted as the ImmaLetYouFinish album of the day that I was listening to.
We're in a Vulcan mind meld right here.
But listen,
anyway, so that's.
You should also go back to in your Pet Shop Boys and go through Bilingual again and Nightlife.
I love that album.
I love Bilingual. Bilingual is so fucking. They've never made a bad album.
Never made a bad record.
They've never made a bad album.
Bad album.
You may not always love like the tempo when they went through their sort of slow like Elysium. I love that album, but that's probably for a lot of people the least Pet Shop Boys album they've ever done. But it was great. That's a great.
No, I mean my goal, Neil. Chris, if you're out there,
I know. Come on the show,
please.
We really know your work.
No, I literally last time I talked to Barney, I went, listen to me. This is what you need to do for me. Don't make me beg. I am begging, but this is what you need to do for me. No, I love them so much. I really do. I just love them, and I'm so glad, as I said, that I broke your Pet Shop Boys cherry. I'm very happy about this. I'm very happy.
I'm like, how did I miss every tour that they've done here? I don't understand how they played multiple. Usually, it was like multiple fucking nights here, and it's like, how did I not?
Like they just play, it's not like they just played one show. And if they did do one show, it wasn't like they were doing some secret after-hours show in a garage somewhere. They played like a huge.
And remember, for Nightlife, they did that residency. It was like a month of shows at Roseland, but all of the shows got basically sold.
I saw them in Hammerstein for that.
It's like most of the shows all sold out through the fan club, and it was like fan club shows.
Must have been home with the baby or something like that. All right, take us out, take us out, take us
I
out.
mean, can you
out.
remember the moment when I realized they were about to sing my fucking song, which is
No,
I
you
don't know
lost
what
your-
you
all right,
want,
you-
but I
okay.
can't get it anymore. I was like, I
You
was
lost
like,
your shit.
oh my God. They're
Yeah, you
about
had
to
an
sing my
out-of-body-
shit.
You
They're
had an
going to say
out-of-body
this is
experience.
my fucking song.
No, you had an out-of-body. We were like turning to the people behind us going, FYI, we're
We
going to be
like-
up there. We're going to be standing the entire show.
I was like, understand, you might
Yeah.
as well get up because
Yeah,
I'm going to lose my shit.
Yeah, this
And
is
then
not
Jill
like,
came and sat with us and she was rocking. We had a good time.
No, that was my friend Pam. That was fun. No, that was a lot of fun. And it was my favorite type of culture. It was down the block from my house. It started at 7:00. We were home by 10.
They did start on time.
They started on time. 7:00. They opened up. They had a tight hour, man. Took a little break. Great DJ. Wasn't Paul Oakenfeld the DJ?
Yes, he was. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great DJ set. New Order came out. Yeah, it was great. It was the happiest day of my life. And I think that was the last big show I went to. Like big show. I've been to other things since then, but big. All right, take us out.
You know what the deal is. Thank you for listening. Remember to tell a friend, pass it on, leave a comment for us, leave a rating, share. Remember, we're on the Pantheon Podcast Network, the #1 music podcast network in the world, honey. The globe. Globally, darling. With all kinds of... Listen, guys, I say this every week, but really, if you love music, there's every type of show about music on Pantheon with people who are just not like us.
Who actually know what they're talking about.
You know what I mean? They know what they're talking about, and they're in it. They're doing it. They're writing it.
5 hours about the Knicks. All right,
It's all the things. So, and for all the people who've discovered us through Pantheon, because I look and see the numbers, thank you for still every week coming on their main page and downloading our show and listening. And we love talking to you guys on Facebook because that is where you're really the most active with us on our Facebook page. I'm going to let you finish, all one word. So we love talking to you guys there. And you know what? We will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, this is Liberty DeVito.
This is Mike Del Giudice.
This is Michael Cavanaugh from Broadway's Moving Out.
This is John Jackson, director of the Billy Joel Archive.
This is Russell Javers.
This is Richie Cannata, and you're listening to Glass Houses, a Billy Joel podcast. It's awesome.
I'm Michael Grosvenor.
And I'm Jack Fernino.
We're lifelong Billy Joel fans who launched a podcast in 2020 celebrating the music we love.
Whether you're looking for the greatest hits or the B-sides and rarities, you'll find it all here. And if you've ever wondered what happens behind the scenes of a concert or recording session, we've got you covered.
Join us as we explore albums, tours, band members, the latest news, and more. You'll also get a unique glimpse into the music industry straight from the musicians and other professionals who help make it all happen.
Tune into Glass Houses, a Billy Joel podcast at glasshouses.pod.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Glass Houses, a Billy Joel podcast is a proud member of the Pantheon Podcasts Network.